And good evening, everyone. Welcome into the Kelly Wells Show on East Kentucky Broadcasting and Pike TV Sports, presented by Appalachian Wireless. I'm Joe Kinzer, subbing for Andrew Joyce this week. We got, of course, the head coach of the U-Pike men, Kelly Wells. And Kelly, what an awesome season. Ranked second in the country right now, finished up with 27 wins in the regular season, 17 conference victories. That's an all-time record, breaking Lindsey Wilson's feat and getting the #1 seed. It's been a spectacular year for us.
It's been a great regular season. We've only stubbed our toe twice this entire season, both of those on the road at Life and at Georgetown. And the rest of the time we've played pretty steady basketball. I still don't think we've played our absolute best. I don't think we've put a full 40 minutes together, and that's encouraging as well to get to this point in the season and been as successful as we've been and really still have room to grow is important. And these last, hopefully, 8 games that we play, you'll see that growth.
Coach, when you go across the country, you and your assistant coaches, and bring in kids from all walks of life into tiny Pikeville, Kentucky, I mean, you recruit talent, but it's another thing to bring in that great talent and just molding it into one and as a cohesive ball club. I mean, you got to be thrilled about this version of the Kelly Wells basketball this year.
Well, no question. We certainly don't consider this tiny little Pikeville. We really sell our community, and we sell the people in our community, and big things are happening here. You see the growth in our town. You see the growth on our school, and everything about this place is booming. And we're going to continue to do those kind of things. We're going to recruit at high level as we can possibly recruit. And I know it's sometimes leave some kids out that really are good players, but we're not trying to find good players. We're trying to find great players, and we've certainly done that this year. Our staff's been unbelievable. We'll get an opportunity to share with one of my assistants here in just a minute, but certainly there's not we talked about it at post game the other night. There's not a dead spot in any part of our men's basketball program, from our players to our staff to our TV to our radio to our grades. There's just not a weak spot right now. We've really built it strong, and we're proud of that.
What really caught my attention this year and caught my eye, you know, I've been helping out, following broadcasting U-Pike for about 6-7 years now. And this conference is a tough daggone league. I mean, it is tough. I mean, sometimes, you know, if you go 10-7 some years, I mean, 10-6 or whatever, I mean, that's a pretty daggone good year. But only dropping one conference game.
Yeah, since I've been here, there's been only one team that's been undefeated in the conference, and that was Georgetown several years ago. And that was our goal to get to that point. We stubbed our toe one time, but a league that's as strong as ours, well, just take for example, we're the #1 seed, and our reward in the tournament is to play a 16-14 team at the 8th seed. So that tells you, you know, we only have one team in our entire conference that's not at least 500 or above. That's just unheard of, and especially the competition that we have. We've got 5 teams legitimately that could go to the national tournament and win several basketball games. I have no doubt about that. Now, we won't get 5 teams in the national tournament to prove that, but we'll certainly have capable teams that will get left out and won't be in. So that's a good thing that we've already reserved our seat in Kansas City.
Let's talk about the game on Thursday night, 67-64 victory over Campbellsville. We have 4 in double figures, Whitaker with 19, King with 16, Reed and Manigault with 11 points each, and also Bruce getting a double-double with 10 rebounds. Congratulations to Bruce Reed for the 3rd consecutive year. He's the Mid-South Conference Player of the Week. We'll talk more about that. But give us your thoughts about that ball game.
Well, we played into their favor quite all the entire game, and they wanted to play it in the 60s, and we wanted to play it in the 90s, and so there's going to be push and pull. And I do think, from the coaching perspective, it's easier to slow a game down than it is to speed it up. And they did a masterful job of slowing the game down. We did a poor job of shooting the basketball. We did a poor job of rebounding the basketball, and those two things led to the opportunity for them to stick around. And truthfully, that's what they wanted. They wanted an opportunity to end the game. The talent levels were not even close to being equal, so they knew that they wanted a chance at the end, and certainly put their team in a position to do that. And every time we play Campbellsville, it's going to be a tough game. It just always is.
We were kind of passing it around the horn against 2-3 zone. Very little times on Thursday night did we actually attack the zone.
Yeah, we had 5 guys that wanted to lead the country in assists that night, and that's not always the greatest thing. We wanted somebody to shoot the basketball in the hole, and we didn't shoot the ball well, and we didn't attack the zone well, and then we turned around against St. Catherine's and exploded offensively. Yeah. So we're capable of doing that, and I think we just, one of those nights was kind of a little bit of a trap game for us, where, you know, here's another game that you feel like you're a better team, and they're going to slow it down, and you've got to fight tempo and got to fight pace, and it was tough. And our guys didn't respond to that great. But credit to Campbellsville, they had a great game plan, but we did enough things to win the game.
Senior night, 95-77 victory. I think we were up by 26 points at the half. Bruce Reed went off with 36 points. Josh Whitaker, 19 points and 6 steals. John Nunley with 10 points and Chris Cantino with 15.
Yeah, we had a great balanced night. Josh Whitaker, the last week of the season, actually 2 weeks of the season, has been off the charts, unbelievable.
Yes.
He's led our team with his hustle, but he's also scoring the basketball. And the transformation that he has made throughout his 4 years here has been as big a transformation as any player we've ever had. And hats off to him, and to finish it off senior night as well as he did, man, we were thrilled to death. And the only thing that stopped him from getting Player of the Week was on his own team. He had a young man go for a double-double and his career high, well, close to his career high on senior night with Bruce Reed. So hats off to the guys, but I thought all of our guys played really well against St. Catherine's.
You know, let's talk about John Nunley for a second. You know, when he got recruited in here, we all was told that he was a shooter from the outside. Kelly, I tell you, I think he's become a pretty good rebounder and defender as the season's progressed.
Well, yeah, when we recruited him, we thought he was going to be a knockdown shooter, and he's struggled quite a bit, just to be honest. He hasn't shot the ball even close to what he's capable of, and it's not because of his lack of work. He works every single day as hard as anybody. He just hadn't gotten into that rhythm, and we've tried to encourage him to do some other things, do some other reasons to be on the floor other than just making shots. And he's had some 6 or 7, 8 rebound games. He's locked down defensively several nights, and he's given him opportunities to play because he does the other things. Now, when he starts getting that stroke going, I mean, he can, like we've seen him, he's had 21 in a game before, and you'll be able to see that start coming too. But he also is doing a lot of other things for us, and he's really grown as a player.
Michael Ine, 6'11", probably about 180, 185 pounds. He has really improved during the course of the season, especially the last, 4 to 5 weeks.
Yeah, he's really been a valuable member of our team, and you may not always see it in the stat sheet. Now, Ryle Granny had 11 points and 8 rebounds, and you saw it in the stat sheet. But sometimes nights it's just to come out to be a big body against them defensively, to challenge the post player, give Chris and Bruce a little bit of an opportunity to take a deep breath and let him bang on their post for a little bit. But he's really become a significant part of our transformation, and his development within a 6-month frame has really been grand. He's really done a good job, and he's like a sponge. He wants to learn, and he wants to be as good as he can possibly be, and he's got some limitations that we all know, but he's certainly been a valuable member so far.
You know, Elisha at one point of the conference season only attempting 7 field goal attempts per ball game. You know, needed to shoot the ball more. He's become more aggressive.
Yeah, when he and Josh both are aggressive, I really don't worry about our team. I know everybody will be in line, and but I do worry about us when those two guys aren't at the top of their game, because then we have some weak spots other places. But those two collectively have done a great job leading this basketball team. And Elijah's one of those guys that doesn't care what his score is, but he certainly cares as long as our score is better than the other team, and that's the bottom line with him. And if he's got to get 10 assists, that's what he'll do. If he's got to guard the best player, that's what he's got to do. And when he's aggressive offensively, that's just a topping on the cake, because he's an unbelievable stat sheet stuffer when he's ready to play.
Bruce Reed, 3 consecutive times being named the Mid-South Conference Player of the Week. He's a complete player.
Yeah, he really is. He's been so steady all the way through. He's unprecedentedly won 3 Mid-South Conference Players of the Week. That's never been done in our conference. Chris Cantino had 2 in a row earlier in the season, Mr. Double-Double. And Bruce has just been off the charts. He's gotten better every single game, and he's certainly playing at his peak right now. I look for him to be National Player of the Year. I think really people will miss the boat if Bruce Reed is not the National Player of the Year. I think he's the best player in the country at this time.
Tell you, Chris Cantino, the junior, just what I like about Double C, we got him back for 1 more year from Philadelphia, PA. He's got to be one of the top rebounders you've ever had since you've been here.
Well, Chris is a senior. This is it for him, but he has been unbelievable. His knack for finding the basketball and the offensive rebounding is better than anybody I've ever seen. He's 10 to 15 offensive rebounds a night, and you can't replace 10 extra possessions offensively or 8 more possessions offensively than you were going to get. But he certainly is one of those guys. We don't run a lot of plays per se to him. A lot of his he gets off of second chance points and things of that nature. Just a phenomenal year for Chris, and he's going to have a great postseason.
We'll be back with more of the Kelly Wells Show on EKB and Pike TV Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless. Good evening and welcome back into the Kelly Wells Show, presented by Appalachian Wireless on EKB and Pike TV Sports. And talking to Coach Kelly Wells. Before we get into the highlights in just a moment, Coach, every year is always a big recruiting year. Got a lot of seniors, lots of pieces of the puzzle to replace. But don't want to put you on the spot, but let's say like I'm a daddy and Jackson's 18, 19 years old, and you come into my house, okay? Give me the Kelly Wells sell. How do you sell UPike? How do you sell Pikeville and the university and your program?
Well, by the time Jackson's old enough to be recruited, you and I both will be retired and off sitting in some retirement home somewhere. But certainly the things that we touch on, it's really a threefold process. One is the education piece to the puzzle is the most important. We talk to parents about our school, our major, the things that we offer that correlates to what they're interested in. And a lot of times freshmen don't know exactly what they want to do when they get to school, and we try to narrow that down. And at a liberal arts school, it really stretches your curriculum, and you'll have opportunities to look at different things. The basketball piece we talk about in great detail, and that's usually the things the kids are most excited about. And they have opportunities to see our team and meet our team, and if they've come on an on-campus visit, or if they haven't, we get them film, and they have opportunity. Now with technology, you can watch us play just about any time you want to, so you have an opportunity to see our style of play. And the last piece of that puzzle is our community and our coaches, kind of combine that together, because the thing that makes University of Pikeville what it is, we have the greatest facility in NAIA. We're one of the winningest programs in NAIA. We have a great coaching staff here, and that excludes me. Our staff is unbelievable. But when you really get down to what makes this place special are the people that are here. So we try to get them in our community and get to know people and get to know the folks on campus, the other students, and you just fall in love with this place. And there's reasons that I'm at the University of Pikeville, and it's not because we have a great facility, and it's not because we have a big building with a medical school in it. We're here because of the people that are in Pikeville, and we sell that. And certainly when the people come here and the kids and the recruits come here, they fall in love with this tradition here. And we always say tradition never graduates, and it won't as long as we're around. We're going to continue to push that. And this program isn't for everybody. It is a competitive program. And if you're not really ready to compete for a position on this team, you're going to be fighting against Division I players. You're going to be fighting against Kentucky Mr. Basketballs. You're going to be fighting for playing time against guys who have been playing in state tournaments, guys who have been playing in NCAA tournaments. And it's very competitive, and it's a high level, and we want guys to come in here and really battle for those positions.
Let's turn our attention over to the highlights now from last week's ball games.
I think we started out here with some Campbellsville highlights, and again, a lot of 2-3 zone. It was hard to get a whole lot of highlights from this, but right here you'll see us out of bounds underneath in one of our sets here. And Kiala with a great kick out from out of bounds, and here we are against their 2-3 zone, moving the basketball. And one of the things we try to stress is getting the ball moving on both sides of the floor. And here we did a great job, got to the second side, Kiala with a great jumper from the outside. Here we are. Something we didn't do great all night was rebounding. Bruce Reed with a great rebound starts our fast break. Kiala King with just an unbelievable look to Josh Whitaker in the corner, who have developed to be one of our knockdown shooters, and a great shot from the corner by the hazard flash here. And here again is Josh coming down the wing, just a straight transition three, forcing them to go to a timeout there. Great job pushing the ball ahead, which is something Josh works on every day. Here again against the 3-2 zone here. Moving the basketball. We only get it to one side, but when that one side's Elijah and he's open, that's a good side. That's a good side to be on, and he knocked it down there like he does all the time. And here we are starting our offense from our defense, which we didn't do a great job of all night, but we did in spurts. And here's KJ with a steal, and also gets a reward for running the lane and gets a nice fast break point here. Here we are in a press. Elijah forcing pressure to make a long cross-court pass, and Kiala steps the gap and goes in for a nice little Euro move to the basket. Here we are against the zone again, and Key's filling in that corner, and EJ's done a great job leading the conference in assists there with a great pass to Key in the corner. And again, some more great ball movement against the zone, not settling for just strict jump shots, a little shot fake, one dribble pull up to the left for Key, who had a nice game, obviously, here coming. Here we are defensively, force a tough three. Long rebound comes out to Kiala, and again, one of our better passers on our team. Great vision here, draws all the defense, all 5 of them, and kicks to sharpshooter Josh Whitaker on the wing. Again, against their zone, here's Josh with great penetration, and anytime we get that ball to touch that paint against the zone is good. Bruce finds a quick reversal to EJ, and again, when it falls on EJ's side and he's open, that's a good side to be on. Here we are again with great ball movement. Here's KJ with an awesome move to the rim. Did a great job of ripping through the defense and finding a hole there. Great job of screening the defense against the 2-3. Went for a high-low. Great pass to the from the pinch post all the way down to Bruce Reed for a finish. We didn't do a great job of getting our posts involved in this. Again, the exact same play we just ran. We just reversed roles and got KJ that layup that Bruce just got just the play before. And again, against their zone, Bruce with an awesome steal. He only had 11 points, but he had 10 rebounds. He guarded a 6'11" guy all night long. It was a tough night for him, and we were out without CC in that game, but you'll see that CC's back in the St. Catherine's highlights here. Back to our normal lineup. We started every single game except for the one. It kind of threw us off a little bit. Again, trouble rebounding the basketball. Too many shots for St. Catherine's there, but when Bruce comes up with it, it's his. We're off in transition. Josh doing a great job of creating defense coming to him. Key with a miss, but CC right there on the offensive glass. And those are the points we've been missing, those offensive rebounds he creates for us. Here's Josh with a little dipsy-do and right down the paint and scoops it right up past their 6'11" post player. And then again, if you don't guard him from the perimeter, he's going to shoot it right in your face. He likes that little left wing. He does a great job of knocking those down. And again, St. Catherine's played us a lot of zone. Here we are with our high-low 13 offense, getting the ball to the high post. Great pass to the short corner for Bruce, a great finish. Here's Josh again with penetration, a little floater he's been working on non-stop, right over top of the defense with a great bucket. Here's we're zoning or screening their zone a little bit. Nice kick again to EJ who bangs it home from the wing. Defensively here, EJ just has some hands that are just amazing. He gets his hands on some balls you just have no idea about. Then we start our fast break, and Bruce Reed can certainly stretch the defense. He can score from the inside, he can score from the outside, and there he is from the outside banging a three home. But he returns the favor back here to Key, who returns the favor to CC in transition. That's when we're pretty good, when we're out running the break, and CC with a nice dunk there. John, as I said, trying to do other things, missed his three, fought it, had an offensive rebound to put back. That kept himself into the game. Here's just a great play by Josh Whitaker with a spin. Could have shot an unselfish layup, didn't, found his teammate. Just like he did right here again, found Chris Cantino, who returned the favor to him, and another three-pointer on the inside-out play. Here we are later in the game with KJ with a great move to the paint, got in there, collapsed the defense, made a nice pass off to Bruce Reed, and just 2 of his 36 in that segment there.
Defending the home court, that's what a head coach always talks about, undefeated at the Expo Center, and also undefeated, I believe, one time we played at the old college gymnasium this year. Just talk about that.
It's a great accomplishment, and it certainly was one of the goals our team had this year. And we tried to refocus after we lost at Georgetown, because our main goal was to go undefeated in the conference, period. We dropped a game at Georgetown, so we tried to refocus a little bit, and the refocusing was to win all our home games, and the guys really rallied around what we were trying to do, and just an unbelievable effort from them. And I don't say we played well every single night, as you and I both know, but we found ways to complete the victories and protected our home court, and we played tough and together, which is our motto, TNT, being tough and playing together, and managed to finish the deal every single night at home. And a lot of that has to do with my coaching staff doing a great job with preparation. We were very prepared, overly prepared for the teams that we played every single night, and the players have done a great job of being ready.
We'll be back with more of the Kelly Wells Show on EKB and Pike TV Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless.
Hey now, come on, let's go. The music's playing, I've got to move on, to go out, no more delaying, pack my things up. Carefree, adventurous way, and I'm heading out to see the rest of the world.
And good evening and welcome back into the Kelly Wells Show on East Kentucky Broadcasting on Pike TV Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless. We're talking to assistant coach Matt Bringman. Matt, second year in the program, and it's been a spectacular year so far for us.
Yep, appreciate you having me. It's blessed to be here, and really enjoying my time here in Pikeville. Looking forward to tournament time.
Let's talk about a little bit quickly about your background. Second year in the program. Where you come from?
Jacksonville, Florida. I was born in Toledo, Ohio, moved down to Jacksonville, Florida. Played 4 years college ball at Palm Beach Atlantic University. Got into high school coaching a little bit in Jacksonville. Met Coach Wells where I was at Weber International 2 years ago. They came down for a Christmas tournament, met Coach Wells, and got on up here to Pikeville and been loving it ever since.
What's the difference to you of coaching on the high school level and then on the collegiate level?
At the collegiate level, I couldn't go back to high school because at the collegiate level, the players just have basketball on their mind 24/7. You know, in high school, there's so many other distractions and, you know, stuff going on. But in the collegiate level, guys just want to work. They want to get better. A lot of them take it as their next step to a professional contract, which I love helping them out with.
What was the big reason for you? Why did you leave Florida to come to U-Pike?
Coach Wells. Just watching him, my mentor, Mike Gillespie, his son played with Coach at Morehead State, and just watching him work in practice and talking with Coach G is just, Coach Wells is the reason why I'm here.
What's it about, Kelly? What does he do to you that really captivates your eyes about running a practice and how he handles himself?
Just the practice I saw down at Weber, he was lucky. I mean, I was lucky enough for him to let me sit in on, even though we were playing, you know, Pikeville, and Coach has a famous phrase, "We're not playing, who keeps a secret?" So, you know, I got to sit on his practice and just what he demands of the players, you know, how he lets the assistants be involved. It was just awesome. It was an awesome experience, and I said I got to get up here and work for that guy.
Let's talk about that. You know, some coaches I've known on the collegiate level, you know, pretty much they don't utilize their assistants as much. They want to, you know, it's they're hands-on and really they restrict their assistant coaches. I've seen that from time to time, not around here, but in other parts of the country. But with Coach Wells, it seemed like that he's hands-on, but he also allows you guys to do your jobs and your roles. What kind of roles do you have with this program?
Well, first, I think that's a testament to if you look at all the guys that have been here before,
yes,
they've all moved on. They've all moved on to Division I assistants. He does a really good job of preparing guys for that. He's really upped my role this year, which I've loved. He's given me a lot of responsibility. I handled all the individual skill work before the season, preseason stuff, postseason stuff last year. He kind of let me do my thing with that, and then even this year he's let me get some scouts, which has been great for preparation for me down the road. I really fell in love with the scouting, and he's let me do a lot this year, which I appreciate and I enjoy, and hopefully just keep learning from him, and we'll see where I can go.
On the skill work, give us a little bit of example for our listeners.
Skill work, we usually work out, you know, pretty much 4 times a week, depending on, you know, who guys are. Some guys like to work out on game days. Some guys don't like to work out on game days. You know, Josh Whitaker is a guy who's been working. John Nunley, Kenny Manigault, Elijah Justice, those guys that have been here even from last year. It's just great to see what we do in workouts. You can see, especially with Josh lately, what we do in workouts when nobody's there. You can actually see it on the floor. You know, it was a lot like that with Deuce last year. We would do things in a workout, and it'd just be us. And then all of a sudden, next week, 2 weeks down the road, you know, there's 9 other guys on the floor, and I'm seeing the exact same move. You know, or seeing a pass or a shot that we worked on, which is just, it's gratifying to me. That's the ultimate high for me.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. You know, you took my next question for you. You know, what's it like for you when you sit on a bench and then you see a guy that you've been working on with actually takes that from practice to end the game and executes?
There's nothing better. There's nothing better. I love it. I try to make it interesting with guys, and we'll have different names for different moves. And I try to relate maybe to the NBA game because our guys love the NBA game. I don't know why. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of it. I love college sports, but I try to put maybe a move to a name. You know, like a Timmy Hardaway or an Iverson finish. You know, just different things to catch their attention, and it'll relay even better for them on the floor. Like if Elijah or KJ or Kiala are going down the paint, and I'll say you should have used a Rondo, or you know, or you should have hit the back foot Kawhi Leonard. You know, stuff like that, and it regulates to them mentally a lot quicker than if I would have said you should have pivoted off your back foot. You know, step through. You know, stuff like that. So
these guys seem like they're very coachable.
Very coachable, and they love to work. They love to work. So I mean, it's been paradise for me these last 2 years because guys really love to work, and I'm a gym rat. You know, I love being in the gym. Coach will tell you, if I'm in the office too long, I start itching. I got to be in the gym. So.
You know, broadcasting most of the games this year, and you know, it's just an honor and privilege for Andrew allowing me to do the amount of work with the program that I get to do. But you know, throughout the season, you know, Chris and Keala, they're pretty keyed in, you know, on individual goals, like Chris on rebounds. I can hear him holler up the floor, 2, 3, you know, count his rebounds. You know, Keala, you know, he's focused in. He gets frustrated himself. He'll mention, now I know the reason why he mentions Rondo or these other names because of you. Those two guys are just dialed in.
Yes, you know, those two guys, and there's specific breeds of basketball players that can do that, that can almost be obsessed with numbers. Because a lot of them are obsessed with numbers, and you know, as coaching staff, we're obsessed with the left column. You know, wins is what we worry about. But if we motivate those guys, you know, like CC and Key, if we motivate those guys to improve their individual numbers, percentages, it's only going to benefit us in the win column. Because those two are very special players, very special players.
I know that all the guys on this team work very hard, but you know, I don't want to put you in a bad, you know, throw you under the bus or anything, but could you name maybe a player or two that's really improved from day one?
I tell you, I got the privilege of seeing Josh play as a sophomore, and I have to agree with, because I just think his improvement throughout his career, and especially last year, his improvement from last year to this year is even, you know, you can see that. Right. I mean, you can really see that. We talk about the Briscoe plan all the time because Deuce and I were in the gym every single day last year. Josh is kind of on the Briscoe plan. I mean, he's been in the gym 5 times, you know, a day. He's worked out more this year, I think, than ever last year. You know, in the first couple months of the season, you know, it just clicked in his head. This was his last year. He wanted to make it memorable. I mean, not just Josh alone, Elijah, KJ, you know, CC, Bruce. All our guys really work. Key's in the gym countless hours. You know, he loves to get in there and shoot. You know, all our guys work. John, Nunley. I mean, it's just been great. It really has.
Matt, thanks a lot for being a part of the program, and the best of luck to you guys. And hopefully we have 8 more victories, if my math is right. 3 conference tournament wins and 5 national tournament
in the national tournament would be great.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
I appreciate you having me.
All right, we'll be back with more of the Coach Kelly Wells Show on EKB and Pike TV Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless. And welcome back into the Kelly Wells Show on East Kentucky Broadcasting Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless, our final segment. Coach, before we get into the Lindsey Wilson matchup and get into some conference matchups in the Mid-South Conference tournament this week, let's talk about it on the national scope. What I'm going to lead into, how many conference teams legitimately has a chance? Because, you know, like the Frontier, they got 2 or 3 solid teams. The Sooner has 3 teams. The Red River has 4 teams that could qualify. How many teams legitimately do you think to make the conference tournament?
Well, right now, I would say we have 3 that will make the national tournament, hopefully. Our teams in our league have beaten up on each other so badly that our overall records are not great now. I think we have everybody on our team has at least 9 losses total, with the exception of UPike, and that's going to be hard to sell on the national level. 1 year since I've been here that we've had 4 teams in, and that was one of the years we didn't go. So I don't foresee us getting 4 in. I'd love to be more optimistic, but I think we just have too many losses on our schedule and some of our teams in our conference to be able to get 4 of those in.
What's the selection committee look for? Because I notice on some of these teams in other conferences like Lewis and Clark State, you know, they have a good record, but they're 500, just over 500 in their conference play, and a couple more teams like that as well.
Well, it's certainly your league play is most important. You've got to finish yourself in one of your top spots in your league. You cannot vote someone ahead of someone in their league if the Raiders vote them lower or whatever in the league. It has to go structurally within your league. Then outside, you look at things like quality wins against NAIA Division I powers, good quality wins. You also look at poor losses that they have that could separate being in there. And we have a coach's call with the Raiders when we get back from conference tournament on that Monday to really try to sell all of our teams in our league. And we'll have a resume just like they do with the NCAA, and we'll talk about the teams they've won, teams they've lost, and here's a team that's capable of winning games in the national tournament, and these are teams I've seen. You know, we'll see life. We'll be able to talk about them and how well they've done all season and the tough schedule they've played. They're 17-12, but they've played everybody in the country, and they're very tough, and they have an opportunity to win games. Now, will they get in? And be tough on them, but certainly a quality ball team.
You know, we're playing for seeding right now. If we win out, we're going to have a high seed. Let's say worst case scenario, okay? Let's say like Lindsay upsets us. You know, it was only an 8-point game at their place the last time. How would that affect our seeding?
So we don't look at worst case scenarios in my office. We worry about the best case scenarios around our way. But you know, obviously it won't be an ideal situation for us to drop a game.
Right.
But I don't think we'll go anywhere. I mean, we've been as steady as anyone in the whole NAIA. Our schedule's been brutal. We've overcame every single obstacle that we've had, and I think we're a steady fix as one of the top seeds, regardless of how we perform here on out.
Lindsey Wilson, we beat them twice in the regular season, 70-52, 78-70. Give us a scout on them.
Well, they're 16-14 as the 8th seed, so they've got opportunities, and they're a very good team. They've won, I think, 4 out of their last 5 games. Are coming in playing as good as they have. They've got one of their Chase Cox, who has been playing for them for a long time. He's back off a knee injury, gives them another boost. Very, very good ball team. They're very well coached. We obviously have thrown all records aside, and we know it's a new season for everybody. Everybody starts out 0-0, and it's our job to finish this week at 3-0, take care of another ring, and then we'll get to the national tournament. We'll try to get that one as well.
What's this team going to do to win?
Well, I think we got to get back to rebounding the ball better than we have, you know, and like I told you, teams are going to try to slow us down. We've got to create tempo by playing great defense. If we'll do that, our defense will create and generate enough offense where we get 60 possessions a game. I think we've got a great opportunity to win any night we play. But the biggest thing is we got to find ways to win. It's tournament time, and nobody's going to make it easy on us.
And Coach, I'm going to close it out like this. I'm very confident when Andrew Joyce sits in his chair 1 week from today, he's going to be talking to you about that Mid-South Conference Championship ring.
Well, that's the plan, that's the mission, and we're going to take them one game at a time just like we have all season long, and play them as one-game championships all the way through.
Coach, travel safe down south, and best of luck this week.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
All right, this has been the Coach Kelly Wells Show on East Kentucky Broadcasting on Pike TV Sports. It is presented by Appalachian Wireless.